Hello, my dear student friends. Welcome back to our channel. So, in this session, we are going to discuss about dual slope ADC. So, this dual slope ADC is most popular ADC among other ADCs because in single ramp techniques, see, we are going to see dual slope ADC. Okay. So, in the single ramp ADC, it is superimposed with noise, okay, which creates more error. Okay, single ramp. So in single ramp, so more error causes. The superimpose causes more error. Okay, whereas the dual slope, dual ramp. So this is single ramp. So single ramp ADC superimpose with the noise causes more error in measurements. Okay, so the dual ramp, okay, the dual slope or dual ramp, uh, in dual ramp, the noise can be suppressed. Okay, the noise can be suppressed with the help of the technique. Okay, the noise is averaged by the positive and the negative slope, negative ramps. Okay, so the noise is nullified by means of having positive integration and negative integration. Okay, so these process of integration, both positive integration as well as negative integration. So the dual slope ADC gives a noise-free measurement. Okay, the basic principle in this dual slope ADC is integrated. First, we have to integrate it with a fixed time intervals, and then with the same integrator, we have to de-integrate, integrate with the negative reference voltage in the reverse slope. Okay, so hence there is a positive and a negative ramp. So first, during the positive ramp, we apply some actual input. Okay. Then during the negative slope, so this is a fixed time interval, say T1, 0 to T1. Then during this time interval, it causes the negative slope. Okay. It causes the negative slope. Understand? So the during positive and negative, this time is T1, this is T2. So this duration is T2. Okay. So for any value of for any value, the integration slope will be varying, but the time will be fixed. The time will be fixed. So at any slope, you can have another slope. You can have the integrator slope value with a different value, but the time is maintained same. So similarly for this, the integration ends at the same time period. Okay, so we can have many incidents like this. So different ramps fixed with a fixed time interval. So T1, this time is T1, this time is T2, this is V in. So different values of V in. This V in is proportional to the slope. So V in proportional to slope, or slope is proportional to V in. Similarly, the constant slope here, the constant slope is proportional to V reference. Okay, V reference. So this is the major advantage of this technique. Understand? So let us see the circuit diagram of this dual slope ADC. So the dual slope ADC consists of the input section, then integrator section, then zero comparator, comparator, okay, or zero detector or zero comparator, zero detector, then a gate, okay, and gate, and gate, then counter, okay, counter with the flip flop, then switch drive circuitry, Let's see the detailed diagram of the dual slope ADC. Very simple technique. So let's start with the input section. So this has one switch, resistor, okay. So this is integrator R whose resistor is R in. This is C in. Okay, this is integrator and the resistance of the integrator and the capacitance of the integrator. Then there is a zero comparator, a zero detector, so zero detector. From the zero detector, it is connected to gate. And gate. So where oscillator is connected, so whose oscillator generates a train of pulses whose frequency is specified in the design. Okay. Then after this, there is a specifically I am going to discuss about 3-bit counter. Okay, 3-bit counter with a flip flop. So the counter memory 0, 0, 0. Then there is a flip flop. Flip flop circuitry. From the flip flop to another input. So this is V in, actual analog input. So this is VR reference. So from here, this flip flop, there is a reset between the counter. Okay, so this is reset button. This is counter. This is gate. Okay, gate. Here we can have the logic switch. This is for easy understanding. So, say this is switch S1, this is switch S2. Okay. Then similarly, from here Understand? So this is the typical block diagram of the dual slope ADC. So it is E naught, this E naught, this is sorry V naught, V naught. This is T1 duration. The integrated slope time is fixed. That is also fixed. That is T2. Okay. So here they gated 0 and 1. 1, 0. This is gate close. This is gate open. This is gate close. So this duration is nothing but T1 plus T2. T1 plus T2. Right? So, so this is the block diagram of the dual slope ADC. Say, let's see the operation. Okay, let's see the operation. So at the start of a pulse, okay, first we have to apply reset. Okay, first we have to first stage at the start of pulse. Okay, start of pulse. So at the start of pulse. So what happened? You see, very simple. Okay, at the start of pulse, the reset is applied. Reset is applied to both counter and flip-flop. Counter and flip-flop. So what happened when we apply the reset? So this memory, flip-flop memory and counter memory, all cleared. So the memory, existing memory is cleared. So totally zero, right? So the flip-flop memory is zero. So this zero flip-flop becomes here. Zero signal comes here. So what happened? So since the zero is applied here, the S2 is open. S2 open. See, so the flip-flop, counter and flip-flop. So the memories of counter and flip-flop becomes zero. So 0, 0, 0, 0, right? So when the switching circuitry, this is switch drive. This is switch drive. Switch drive. So nothing but a NOT gate, right? So when the memory of flip-flop 0, so this become 1. So 1 means S1 is closed. So here, so S1 is closed. Then S2 is open. S2 is open. So when S1 is closed, S2 is open. So the moment S1 close, so this close, the Bin is applied to the integrator. So this is integrator, right? So integrator. So the moment we apply, we close the switch S1. So Vin, so Vin is applied to the integrator. So the capacitor starts charging. Okay, the capacitor C starts C integration. Okay, starts charging. Start charging. Very simple. Start charging, and okay. So as soon as the integrator output exceeds, so output exceeds the change state. Okay, output exceeds the 0. Okay, as soon as the integrator output exceeds 0, the comparator output voltage changes its state. Comparator output changes its state, right? So which opens the gate, So as soon as the integrator output exceeds 0, the comparator, so this comparator output voltage changes the state, which opens the gate, so that the oscillator clock pulse are fed to the counter, So the counter starts counting. Understand or not? So the counter starts counting. So when when the ramp voltage starts, the comparator goes to state 1. So the gate opens and clock pulse drives the counter. Okay, the gate opens, the clock pulse applied to the counter. The counter starts counting from 0000 to 0002 9999. Okay, 9999. So this is a 3-bit counter. Okay, this is 3-bit. Specifically, I am discussing with 3-bit counter. So the moment the counter starts counting, after the gate is opening, the counter starts counting from 0000 to 9999. 0002 9999. When the one pulse exceeds, okay, when the counter reaches maximum of 9999, so when a single pulse exceeds, so it becomes the flip-flop, the overflow passes to the flip-flop. So the overflow, when this becomes 99, the next, the overflow goes to 1000, okay, 1000. So the 1000. So the overflow exceeds, becomes 1, that occupies the flip-flop 1. So the flip-flop now, during this integration, the output voltage V0 equal to minus 1 by R int C int, okay, integral of V in dt, 0 to T1. The duration is 0 to T1. Understand or not? So 0 to T1. So during this period, so consider this is equation number 1. During this period, the counter fills, okay? So 9999. So when FF flip-flop becomes 1, then the total count becomes like this. So this is during the time T1, the total count is 999, because 3-bit counter. If it is 4-bit counter, 4 nines, 9999. Okay. And the next pulse gives the counter memory becomes 0. So one pulse exits the flip-flop, that logic level becomes 1. Okay. Now see what happened to the next duration. You see here. Now this flip-flop memory become 1. This counters 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. From 999 to 1000. Now what is the pulse available here? 1. When this becomes 1, the switching output becomes 0. This becomes 1. So what happened at this case? When flip-flop become equal to 1, flip-flop memory become 1, S1 open, okay, S2 close, S2 close. You see the logic. S2 become 1, so this activate the switch. So this switch is, okay, so this activate the switch S2. So S1 open, S2 close. Now the VR reference minus VR is applied to the integrator. So what is the during the time T2? Okay, so disconnected and minus VR. So this S1 is open, S2 close, minus VR is applied. So at this stage, what is the counter? What is the memory of the counter and flip-flop? 0, 0. Okay, 0, 0, 0. Then now the integrator output will be having a negative slope, which is constant. Okay, So now the integrator output, so during the V in, the the integrator is integrating positive. So for a duration of T1, now if the integrator starts uh, deintegrating, so it becomes T2 for the fixed time of T2. The integrator output will be having a negative slope, which is also constant. Okay, that is the integrator output now decreases linearly to 0 volts. So this is volt versus time. So 0 volt V naught. So now what is the output at this stage? So V naught equal to minus of 1 by R int C int integral of 0 to T2 minus VR dt minus VR dt. When the negative slope of integrator reaches to 0, the comparator switches to state 0, right? The comparator, when it reaches the slope reaches 0 volts, the comparator switch, this comparator switch close. Okay, the comparator switches to the state 0. Okay, so the comparator switches to 0. The gate switches to 0, right? Compare when the integrator, the negative slope of the integrator reaches the 0 volts, the comparator switches to the state 0. Okay, and gate close. So the gate close occur. This gate close occur when T2 finishes. The gate open occurs until T1 plus T2. So it has a latch to hold during positive and negative cycle. Okay, so that is latch during first integration cycle. It holds 1000 counts. Then next, okay, so during next integration 1000 counts. So totally 2000 counts for 3-bit counter. Okay, 3-bit counter with the flip flop. Okay, totally total counting is 2000 counts from 000 to 0000 to 9999. Okay, 9999. Understand or not? So 0 detector, so finds the output is 0. So the counter is stopped now. The counter is stopped. So if you have a latch, it holds both positive duration counter and the negative duration count. Okay. So if we use this counter for a 3.5 digit during first of cycle, it holds 1000 counts. During second of deintegration phase, there is another 1000 counts. So the 3.5 digit, if we use this dual slope ADC for 3.5 digit DVM, digital voltmeter, the total counts equal to 2000. Okay, this is for 3.5 digit. For that is from 0000 to 1999. So this is the total count we latched during the counting process of dual slope ADC. Understand? So during the charging period, the V naught is minus R integration C integration 0 to T1 V in dt. So during negative integration cycle, that is V naught equal to 0 minus R into C in 0 to T2 minus VR dt. This happens until it reaches to 0 volts. So by subtracting this difference, so say this equation number 2, subtracting 2 minus 1 will be equal to minus VR minus VR. So actually this will sorry, the integration of this 1 equal to V naught equal to minus V in T1 divided by R int C int. Sorry. So this happens to be equation number 3. Similarly, if you integrate this, V naught equal to minus of minus VR T2 divided by R int C int. Say this is equation number 4. Now subtract 4 minus 3. We will be getting minus VR T2 by R int C int. Okay, minus minus of minus V in T1 divided by R int C int. Understand? So R int C int. So by equating this, we will be getting. So this will be equal to 0. So what we get? So V in T1 divided by R int C int equal to VR T2 divided by R int C int. Okay. So now we can cancel the denominators. So what we get? So V in this cancel. So V in equal to VR T2 by T1. VR divided by T2 by T1. Okay. So if the oscillator period equals to T, okay, a constant T, okay. If the oscillator period equal to T, the digital counter indicates N1 and N2 counts respectively, the total oscillator period, okay. So if the oscillator period equal to T, so and the digital counts of the counter and digital counts during T1 is N1, T2 is N2. Digital counts during T1 equal to N1, okay, T2 equal to N2. So respectively, that means T1 equal to T times N1. Okay, so T1 equal to T times that is T1 equal to, if the oscillator period is T, then counts T1 equal to N1T, T2 equal to N2T. So T is the oscillator period. So now let's substitute this value here. So V in equal to VR into T2 by T1. T2 by T1. What is T2? N2T by N1T. So here N2T divided by N1T. So T cancel. So let say some k, constant k equal to VR by N1. VR by N1. So what happened here? K equal to VR by N1. So this is evidence accuracy of measuring voltage is independent of the integral time. So this T is the integral time. T is the integral time. So see here in this final expression, so the T cancel. So the oscillator period, integration period is independent of time. So it is the evidence of the noise-free operation. Understand or not? So the times T1 and T2 are measured by the counts of clock given by the numbers N1 and N2 respectively, the clock pulse. Okay, that's why the time duration is integral multiples of integral time, integral multiples of the oscillator period, integral multiples of the oscillator period. So that's why the noise, the 50 hertz noise is easily removed by choosing the oscillator period, oscillator frequency in multiples of integral multiples of the clock frequency, the power supply frequency. Suppose we use 50 hertz power supply, the oscillator period is integral multiples of 50 hertz. So either 50 hertz, 100 hertz, or 1 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, like that. We normally choose the oscillator frequency in terms of for 50 hertz immunity, 48 kilohertz or 50 kilohertz, like that. Okay, we normally choose high frequency oscillators. Understand? So here, let us come back here. So K is nothing but VR by N1. VR by N1. So then what is V in? So here V in becomes VR. So VR by N1. VR by N1. VR by N1 is K. K. VR by N1 is K. So K times N2. Okay. So what is N2? N2. The N2 is the during negative period. So what is required? N2 is the total number of pulses required. Total number of pulses required. So what is N2? So N2 total counts. Say N2 is total counts equal to V in divided by K. V in divided by K. That is V in divided by what is K? V reference into N1. Okay, N1 is the number of pulse counts during the first integration period. Okay, that is 1000. So N2 is total counts. N2 is total counts. So the total counts for 3.5 digit. What is the total counts for 3.5 digit? Total counts equal to N1 is the first integration pulses that counts memory in the first integration into V in divided by V reference. So this is the formula required to design the reference voltage. Okay. So what is the total counts for 3.5 digit voltmeter? So 2000. Say 2000 counts equal to 1000 counts into, suppose the V in full scale is 2 volt. 2 volt. Then V reference should be 1 volt. Half of that. So V reference always half of the equal to half of the V in full scale. V in full scale. Understand? So this become 1, 2, 2000 counts. Total counts of 3.5 digit dBm. Understand or not? So this is the operation behind the digital dual slope ADC. So this ADC we are going to use in the design of 3.5 digit voltmeter. Okay. Thank you very much.